E-W-S.
The Overnight Underground News Podcast. Here's today's headlines. What if you had a rally and no one cared?
The American dream is dead.
NASCAR gets the flag. Great. Now they're after my pancake syrup.
Stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Chicago sets a new record, and pennies are the new toilet paper. These stories and more on today's Overnight Underground News. I'm John Ford. President Trump had his first rally following months of quarantine from the pandemic, and when all was said and done, the Tulsa venue was only about a third full. I guess the president will have to walk back that boast about all the events never having empty seats. For those with Trump derangement syndrome, it was schadenfreude extraordinaire, watching the great orange one have a big failure right out of the campaign kickoff box. For those brainwashed by Trump, who cares? Their eyes are still spinning for their great white dope.
All glory to the Hypno-Toad.
By the way, if you're keeping track of such things, Trump is at a 38% approval rating.
I'm Joe Biden. This message.
Speaking of being out of action, you may have noticed last week the Overnight Underground was at the pasture. Yeah, I was down with some sort of mystery illness. But the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we're back. Over the weekend at the Talladega Superspeedway, the race may have been canceled, but that didn't stop NASCAR fans from showing their disapproval of the recent ban of the Confederate flag at stock car races. ESPN reported that a plane flew above the track towing a banner and a Confederate flag that read, "Defund NASCAR."
You are the great redneck hope!
In other cancel culture news, Quaker Oats may be canceling the Aunt Jemima brand, but that change isn't making everyone happy. The family of the woman, Lillian Richard, who was the model and spokeswoman behind the iconic image on the pancake syrup and mix, isn't pleased with the erasure of their relative's hard work.
A lot of people want it removed. We want the world to know that our cousin Lillian Richard was one of the Aunt Jemimas, and she made an honest living. We would ask that you would reconsider just wiping all of that away.
That's a descendant of the actual Aunt Jemima on WIFR-TV in East Texas. The latest statue to get the bullseye for coming down, the man known as the, quote, master builder in New York City, is the latest bronze Bubba to have protesters call for statues in his honor to be erased. 1010 Wins reports the angry mob wants the statue in Babylon, Long Island to indeed kiss the dirt. Hell, why stop there? He was a great architect for New York City after all. Just burn the whole damn city to the ground. Now that would be some mighty fine erasing.
You've just been erased.
In a somewhat related story, the citizens of I have no idea. Gelsenkirchen in West Germany won the right to erect the statue of Vladimir Lenin after a lengthy legal battle. So while here in the U.S. we're busy tearing down statues of Lincoln, Grant, and Daffy Duck, Germany gets a new statue to the first leader of Soviet Russia. And with a death toll under his belt estimated somewhere north of 3 million souls, great job.
Excellent!
What the hell is going on in Chicago? The Sun-Times reports that 104 people were shot over the weekend in the Windy City, and 14 died from gunshot wounds. Those deaths included a 3-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl. This is a new record for shooting victims for the year in the Windy City. Congratulations to all involved.
Damn, somebody's shooting at us.
Here's something you didn't expect. Forget the toilet paper shortage. The U.S. is now in a coin shortage. NPR reports that American banks are running low on pocket change. It seems that due to the pandemic, what else? The Federal Reserve has been forced to ration nickels, dimes, quarters, and yes, even pennies. When banks shut down their lobbies from the coronavirus, those unused coins in your piggy bank backed up, excuse the pun, leading to a shortage nationwide, and pennies becoming the new toilet paper. Ow! Wasn't it just last week that chickens were declared the new toilet paper? Bringing new meaning to the phrase, change we can relieve in.
Bite my colossal metal ass!
We're back to another story over another Chinaman sticking another inappropriate thing in places where the sun don't shine. According to that bastion of journalistic integrity, the Daily Mail, a man in his 50s in Guangdong sauntered into the hospital complaining of abdominal pain. In a million years, you will never guess what the doctors found. It seems that Mr. Mensa had inserted a 16-inch live eel into his rectum to, quote, treat his constipation. Now, before you try anything similar, Mr. Gear, this Chinese idiot in question underwent emergency surgery after having his colon torn apart by the slimy creature.
That's what she said.
N-E-W-S.
A mostly correct and occasionally incomplete transcript and links to reference sources and articles of this Overnight Underground can be found at overnightunderground.com.